Very good. Lily and Tifias, your questions. What do you do if you catch somebody with 6 kgs of gold?
You make them the president of the Zimbabwe Miners Federation.
That's very good. Clap them for Lily.
But only if they have prior corruption charges.
That's very correct. Second question. What's the minimum qualification required to be a top government official?
Certificate Bible from Ezekiel Kuti University.
That's very correct. Moving on to your third question. What is the criteria used to select your MPs and councillors?
Level 3 skills of operating the propaganda machine.
That's very good. Your first and last question. I'm gonna say this. What do you do to defend a party member from opposition outcry?
Catch and release formation.
That's very good. Now, as you can see, you are now ready to be part of us. You have passed the test and welcome to Chidembo School of Ideology. So you can take your keys and go to the pajeros and do your thing. Very good. Do your thing. Welcome.
My people, comrades and friends, welcome to another episode of The Week with me, Comrade Fatso. And it's been a crazy week. The Chinese arrived in Hwange and not for a safari. Mupfumira said no to corruption and Hopewell's charges were finally quashed. But first, this. Remember Mupfumira, the first minister under the new dispensation to be arrested for corruption? She was arrested in connection with 95-meter Yusa that was looted from NASA, and then she was released. Well, Mupfumira came out this week condemning corruption, calling it a cancer. She went on to say, the problem why we are not properly handling corruption is that you hear the issue of catch and release. You hear that people have been arrested because of corruption, but later you hear that they are released. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't make this shit up if you tried. The comrade Akabira Chembere then got arrested and then was a beneficiary of catch and release and is now an anti-corruption guru. I guess it takes someone who has been deep in the trenches of corruption to truly understand how to deal with it. Next up, we are voting for Priska to be head of ZAC. I mean, who better to catch a thief than an even better thief? This week, Wange has been in the news big time. And not because of marasha or power cuts. A Chinese company, Afrochin, which sparked an international outcry after setting up a coal mine in Hwange National Park before it was ordered out, has now been awarded a new special grant by Tora Mari United captain E.T. I mean, what are our all-weather friends for if you can't grant them a few favors here in a little bit of environmental degradation there? Besides, when the Hurment previously reversed its decision to license Afrochin and Zhongjin coal mining group to mine in the national park last year, China lectured ED on the need to be transparent, aka do the things, my guy. And now the Hurment is doing the things so that the things can be done. I mean, who needs wildlife and nature anyway? Who cares about all the animal species that will be affected, including 45,000 elephants? Comrades, so as long as a few mbinga can make some back, beg, mula, chelede, you know what I mean? The Zimpark spokesman, Tinashe Farao, said the special grant is not within the protected areas. But he didn't deny that the special grant may apply to safari areas around the park where he said mining activities have been happening since time immemorial. Tell me about it, Tinashe. I mean, hyenas are the worst makorokozas of all. And don't even get me started about buffaloes and their mashurukwi tendencies. Meanwhile, another Chinese company in Wange has also been making headlines. Pfee Investments is prospecting for coal in Dinde in Wange. I mean, Wange seems like Itori hot property at the moment, guys. The company has been accused of defiling a local burial site. Literally drilling under graves. Pfee Investments was granted a permit by the government in 2019, but has met fierce resistance from the local Dinde villagers. Dinde is home to a mixture of the Nambia and Tonga peoples, marginalized minorities who were forcibly uprooted from their ancestral lands by the Rhodesian government in the 1930s to make way for the Hwange National Park. The Dinde villagers are scared that the 600 families that are there will be displaced, that they will lose their heritage sites, and that their livelihoods will be disrupted. This government doesn't learn, eh? I mean, they literally tried this a few weeks ago with the Chilonga villagers. They must have been like, okay, comrades, we have heard you. We'll just do this somewhere else then, eh? Or it's fine. We'll move on. Once again, we have a case of the government blatantly favoring the rich over our marginalized minorities and our environment in Zimbabwe. If you believe that the Dinde villagers deserve your solidarity, then use the hashtag #SaveDinde and raise awareness about this attack on their dignity.
Right, in this week's report, the streets witnessed a serious case of Chishurugwi meets Umjolo. This has resulted in the resurfacing of a 2015 High Court ruling in the case of Magamba v. Machodo that a man is entitled to a full refund of Rora if his wife cheats on him. However, women everywhere have been heard yelling, Dali, shingamkwasha wakandudza wega kuzogara pano shingamkwasha. Sorry, actually that is incorrect. They have indeed been whispering it instead because they did not want to wake up baby Junior, who was mysteriously dropped off last week by secretary vaimboshanda did ku office kwavo vachita matrips, but recently ahango resigner. But baby Junior looks very much like Baba, but we are not sure. In other recent news, a military helicopter recently crashed an Arcturus, killing 3 crew members, all of them and an innocent child. When reached for comment, a government representative said that the crash was due to an inability to purchase replacement parts due to Western-imposed sanctions. However, it was a little bit difficult for our team to hear this comment given the fact that he was being whisked away in a recently government-purchased $18 million personalized, glorified personal combi that just happens to have the exact same parts as a much-needed military helicopter. That's the report from me. Thank you so much. Back to you, comrade.
In an unexpected move this week, Dagi Monzora's senators rejected Constitutional Amendment Bill number 2. I see you guys didn't get Dagi's memo. Or maybe Dagi got too many emails from angry, weak viewers. That didn't stop Monzora from getting dumped by hundreds of supporters in Blawayo who accused him of tricking them into joining ZANU-PF. The MDCT Comrades did a defection ceremony at Gertrude Mtombeni Hall as they rejoined the MDC alliance. It seems defection ceremonies are the new star rallies. Ah yes. I guess in the build-up to the 2023 elections, don't expect great grand visions for society from politicians. Just expect them to parade in front of you converts from the other parties to show you how popular they really are. Nkoma Dagi was also in the news this week when he said that Zimbabweans are fed up with political fights. They just want jobs and food. I think he was just talking about himself there. Inonzi Monzora Vision 2021. Job and food for me. Plus, ndokwanza kutaura pama opening ceremonies na president. We now cross over to the weather report with Chinai.
That's a sad story there about Douglas Monzora, comrade. Kamakisa kublawayo. Ingama one. Anyways, welcome to our weekly focus. As you can see here, we're expecting heavy rainfall of Chinese miners to fall in Wange. That's the eastern. Yowashi. Wange ku east, west. Okay, Asinabasa. But we're expecting heavy rainfalls of Chinese miners, comrade. This rainfall, look at it, it's dangerous. We expect it to destroy the land. We expect it to destroy the animals. Comrade, we need to do something about this rainfall. Otherwise, one, comrade. And moving on to Tuesday, expect some sunlight shining on the G40 members who want to rejoin ZANU-PF. Yeah. And kanamchida dzokai kamchida munomboenda kumana nanga chingotamba nesu comrade, but also. So these G40 members, they might join or they might not join, but look at it, it seems like there's some light at the end of the tunnel. But other than that, comrade, it's corruption and incompetence. Back to you, comrade.
Thanks, Tinai. This week, the High Court quashed the charges against Hopewell Chin'ono. The judge said that the law used by the police to arrest Chin'ono no longer exists. I mean, who says our government doesn't have a colorful imagination? Over the last week, MDC Alliance MP Joanna Mamombe was forcibly removed from a private hospital and returned to Chikurubi. She was seeking medical attention at the private hospital. Her struggle for justice continues. In a recent interview, Nelson Chamisa akaramba masnitch. Yes, the MDC Alliance leader went on record to attack opportunistic MPs, saying next time, avalume. Comrade, why did you have them in the party in the first place? Voter registration has started, so get out there and do your thing. See the ERC for more details about where and when you can register to vote. Thanks for joining us on The Week. Follow Magamba TV on social media. I've been Comrade Fatso. This has been The Week. You have been the people. Go and register to vote. Thank you, and Futsak.